What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. For this week's video, I'm going to be uploading an interview that I did with Mike, who is the associate director for the charity organization I've been raising funds for on my Twitch channel. Which, by the way, if you haven't followed it by now, twitch.tv/Test5th. Players vs. Cancer is a organization that is dedicated to helping families who are suffering from cancer, as well as benefiting cancer research on the behalf of American Association for Cancer Research. I've been raising funds on the behalf of Players vs. Cancer for the entire month of February. Unfortunately, the campaign is ending this final weekend of February. However, it will not be the last campaign that I will be doing for Players vs. Cancer. Sometime later on in the future, I will more than likely do another campaign on the behalf, since throughout this entire year, PVC is raising funds. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video that I did interviewing Mike, as he talks more about the foundation of Players vs. Cancer, how it came to be, as well as announcing a game that the AACR is actually working on, and is a game that is intended on you literally fighting cancer. I mean, come on, how cool is that? You're literally molly-whopping cancer in the face. So there's more details on that in the video. There's more details on that in the interview. Please enjoy it. Have fun. Stay safe. Mwah. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on Mike. Mike, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, Mike,
and I am
there.
in solidarity with you. I will do Bean Boozled.
Yes. So this is Mike right here, guys. He is the associate director. I hope I said that right. He's the associate director for Players vs. Cancer. How are you doing on today, Mike?
I'm doing good. It's been a long, fun day. A lot of business stuff. Did a stream this morning myself, and that's always fun. Community building is the best part of what I do here, and we're building a community of folks that want to support cancer research. And Tess, I'm happy that you are going to be part of that community.
Oh yeah, being part of community stuff. No, it's no problem, because like I was saying, I usually do a lot of charity streams, and I always do one for my birthday month, or I try to do one for my birthday month. So after the hectic battlegrounds has been 2020, thankfully I've been in a brand new headspace, a good headspace, and I was like, what better way than pop on a charity stream at the beginning of the year? So
yeah, I try to forget about my birthday month because I'm so old.
He's not old. You're like 15, Mike. Come on. He's 15. He's 15. The grade just came in a little too early. But for our first question, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you to provide some details on Players vs. Cancer, as far as when it was found, who formed it or who signed the papers for it, and as well as the mission statement for the organization.
So we're a program of the American Association for Cancer Research. I'm an employee of AACR, and I've been with them for 18 years now, working on fundraising. And about summer of 2019, I've been a gamer my whole life, and I, for a long time, I've been kind of trying to figure out an angle for how we could kind of make fundraising and gaming crossover. And I started to notice this more and more as I was getting into Twitch. And a couple of things happened that summer that allowed us as an organization to embrace that philosophy of Twitch and online fundraising. One was the success that Dr. Lupo has seen in raising an ungodly amount of money. And the other was on the technical side, our donation platform. They had kind of upgraded their services and were pushing streaming. So those two things kind of came together at the same time in summer of 2019. And I'm lucky enough to have bosses that saw the value in this sort of program and saw how generous the Twitch community can be. And
Mm-hmm.
we're like, yeah, you guys, you go build this thing. We don't understand it. We don't know what it is, but you guys go build it. So that's what it is. And again, we represent the American Association for Cancer Research, which is the largest cancer research organization in the world,
Mm-hmm.
47,000 members worldwide. And all of those folks are working on the front lines to prevent and cure cancer.
Nice. I think that's pretty cool because I've done streams for Extra Life
Mm-hmm.
and as well as a few others. And it's always the same because a lot of people like to look at gamers and be like, "Ah, they're just lazy. Get up your butt, go get a job." But then, like, you see how big streaming has gotten and how
Yeah.
gaming as itself as an industry has gotten. And there are millions of dollars being raised
Yep.
for charities just through gaming alone. Like, I saw this like article that was talking about how live streaming seems to be like the new telethon,
Yeah.
like the new wave
Yeah.
telethon.
Yeah. Well, that's actually part of it. I'm glad you mentioned that because, my bosses, they kind of come from the running world, and we've done a lot of running events in the past. We have a running program. And that takes you to one level, but you start having to look around and go, hey, who are the next group of folks that can support cancer research? Runners tend to be of a certain generation and whatnot. How do we get younger people to support our mission? Because a lot of young people don't think about cancer, even though you should, because 1 in 3 people will get cancer at some point in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where you have where does the next generation of supporters for your organization come from? And we were like, hey, this community, the Twitch community, is extremely generous. You see fundraisers going on all the time. We felt that we had a good mission and a good message, and that it would resonate with this community. And so we dove in head first.
Nice. Real quick, let me just go ahead and acknowledge what's up, Mobert. How you doing, Mobert? And yes, this is a really nice opportunity because I'm not gonna lie, I'm low key blushing because I'm like, this is pretty cool to talk to to talk to people all because we like gaming.
Yeah, you talk to my kids about that. They're like, what are you doing in there? You're just taking up space in the living room, old man.
It's just like he's not gonna switch again. He won't get off
Yeah,
the
that's right.
switch.
Well, yeah, we're gonna play. We're gonna play later, and I had to appropriate my Switch for them.
Be like, listen, I'm using this switch for a very good cause, okay? But
That's
beat
right.
somebody Mario Kart, you know understand?
Yeah, I pay for the electricity anyway, so
All right. So my next question is, how much has the organization grown since its inception, and where do you hope to see the growth of the organization within the next 10 years?
So we're a small team right now. There's 3 of us: myself, Leslie, and Ashley. We all, like Leslie and I, will the outreach to the Twitch community, and Ashley does the corporate side of the house. That's where she comes from, the corporate world, and she does outreach to companies because we're trying to get them to support us too. We have
Mm,
success with that on the AACR side in getting them to fund grants. So we're like, they should be able to support us on that end too. So we're not just approaching normal everyday people as donors, but companies as well. So
okay.
I will say, we're only a year and a half in, and growth has been slow. And sometimes it feels like you just one follower. Jesus Christ, what's going on in my house? Good Lord. I swear an elephant fell down the stairs there.
Let me
Anyways,
find out you got ghosts, Mike. Let me find
no, nobody's crying, so all right, we're good. Anyways, so it feels like it's been slow growth and we've been building momentum. Sometimes just one follower at a time. As with a lot of things, the pandemic kind of derailed our plans. We had a completely
Yeah.
different business plan for 2020, which was to go to conferences and meet people and do outreach in that manner. But obviously that blew up. So we kind of
Yeah.
took a little bit of a detour into an idea we had in our back pocket, which you know about, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute. But a lot of places had to do that, rearrange their business plans, and that has certainly held back our growth a little bit. But we're building a really cool community, especially lately in the past couple of months. We've had a lot of cool folks coalesce around us. But long term, you mentioned Extra Life before. We know those folks over there. They're pals of ours. We aspire to be what they are and what they're doing. They
Oh, it'll
raise
definitely
millions
get
of
there.
dollars a year.
You'll get
And
there.
yeah, I hope so. We're working hard, and I think we've got the right people in place, and hopefully we can bring in more of the right folks to come and support the AACR's mission and get to where those guys are.
Nice. And my next question is, well, next month, I feel like I jumped the gun doing it in February, but this upcoming March will mark Players vs. Cancer's second major charity streaming event, which is called Play to End Cancer. That's the name of it. So my question leading up to that is, are there any more events planned for the rest of the year? Are you guys planning to do more than just that? And also, real quick, if anybody in stream who is a streamer or, aspiring to, get into some charity streams, you might want to be on the lookout for next March, less than 28 days to, sign up and, also play to end cancer.
So yeah, you mentioned we're doing an event in March called Play to End Cancer, which is kind of like, I would say, the unofficial to our 2021 campaign. And what we're doing with that is we have a lot of programs at the AACR about racial disparities in cancer, not just among patients, but in the labs and how people are recruited to labs. And a couple of the scientists that we work with are going to be coming on with us and talking about those specific issues. So I think for the March event, most, if not all, of the money is going to go to programs that are funding racial disparities in cancer and in the labs and those kind of programs.
Nice.
But beyond that, we just started talking in the last day or two about doing something in the fall. We'll definitely do something. We'll do something around the game, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, we'll definitely do something bigger in the fall. We don't want to have too many events and cloud the waters too much. But yeah, we'll have two kind of tentpole events for the year.
Okay, nice. So like one for spring, one for fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
Basically.
Okay. And so my next one is, well, you already pretty much talked about this next one as far as outreach and trying to gather more streamers. And, I'm also doing my part. Wink, wink.
Thank you. We appreciate this, Tess.
No, don't need to bow to me.
Down before you.
And so I'm just going to skip over that question and we can just go ahead and get into the game. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but AACR was like, nah, we're not just gonna give you charity streams. Nah, we're busting foot first into the gaming industry.
Right.
So they said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and make a game ourselves. So you want to go ahead and get to neoantigen for the viewers, Mike?
Yep. So it's funny. I met program summer 2019. We went to TwitchCon that fall, and it was kind of a last minute thing. We got invited to be part of a charity event there, and we some of the organizations we were with had these big shenanigans going on, and we were like, what can we? I don't know. Let's cook up something fun at the last minute. So I called a guy I knew who's in video development. I was like, can you kind of make us some kind of cool teaser for us, like where like cancer research is a game? And he did that, and it went over really big. And the biggest question we got at TwitchCon that year was like, hey, can I play this game? And we were like, we may be on to something there. And when our plans for 2020 blew up, we came back to that idea and we were like, hey, let's do that. Let's do something that we're not sure. I think maybe one other group's done it before a long time ago, but let's make a game and let's take the AACR's area of expertise, which is science, and get these scientists to help us build the game. So we brought in the scientists. We got someone who's experienced in the gaming industry as a writer. On the writer side, he's written some stuff for Bethesda and stuff. So we kind of got those two worlds together, experienced script writers and scientists, and we created a game. The game's called Neoantigen. It's a 3D space shooter. If you're familiar with Star Fox, it's kind of in that vein.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be in your ship. You're fighting cancer cells. You're learning about cancer along the way because it was for us to make it scientifically accurate. So there'll be we're not going to beat you over the head with like hardcore science, but you're going to definitely learn some stuff about cancer in the course of playing this game. You'll be in your spaceship. You'll be able to go back to the lab. You'll learn some stuff in the lab. And I think data is the in-game currency. You build up data and you use that to like trick out your ship and stuff. But that's kind of how that came about. And we're working with a studio called CanAdapt to bring this game to market. We're targeting a launch date of March 26th. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be there's gonna be a single player mode. It's gonna be a multiplayer mode. DLC coming a little bit later. We're launching out of the gate on PC and mobile, and then a little bit after that, there's gonna be an Xbox port. So
nice.
It's gonna be a fun game. $5, only $5.
$5.
$5 and all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a Twitch sub.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Twitch sub, and you get a cool game that supports cancer research. So there you go.
All of the proceeds are going to AACR.
Well, everybody got to take a bite of the apple, but the net proceeds are going to it. Just to keep it on, just not to bamboozle anybody. Everybody's got to take their cut. We got to sell it on markets. So a little bit of, not like 100%, but like 90, 97, 98% of that money is going to support the AACR's programs.
Nice. And going back to Neoantigen, because I think it's pretty dope that there's a video game that's not only entertaining, more than likely, it's also educational. Because usually we think about educational games, you think about the ones like the ones that you get on the CD drive, and you play it in 4th grade when the teacher is just like, can you just go sit down somewhere? So you're just like, oh, I can only play this because I'm here. But this is a game where it's like it's taking the concept of an actual disease, not a disease that's just a writing focus or like a plot device for the main character. Like this is like as Mike said, like actual scientists have been giving them information to put accurate information, so it's nothing wacky coming out of nowhere with no basis whatsoever. I was going to say, I was going to ask, should more video games attempt to bridge beyond being mainly for entertainment and incorporate educative elements into gaming?
Of course. Aren't you just tired of killing zombies and spiders for no reason? I mean, why not? Yeah, of course every game should have maybe not every game, but certainly more games should have an educational element. Why not? I mean, let's diversify the marketplace. Like you've done enough, again, you've killed enough zombies. Why not learn something? Why not bring something to enhance your life? Learn about cancer science, or learn about heart disease, or whoever reaches out into this market. Learn about math, trigonometry, whatever. I think it would be incredibly cool if other organizations would take kind of what we're doing here. I'm not going to say we came up with this idea on our own, but I think it would be super cool if more games did have an educational element. I personally would enjoy that.
Me too, because I was a little geek in school. I went to school to actually learn, and other people are just looking at me like you're weird, and I'm like, I know. I know. I have nothing else to do though, but just learn. But that'll lead me to my next question. Well, actually, we can kind of put it into my follow up to my next question. Excuse me. So, how come we don't see more games like Neoantigen that highlights a particular disease or illness in order to raise awareness? Because, like you said, we can kill spiders and zombies all day, but then you hear about the writer for The Walking Dead, and he's like, "There's no cure.
Right.
I'm just writing about people who are just living in a zombie apocalypse." And it's just like, what? Okay.
That's bleak.
But
Yeah, let's give people hope, man.
but I feel like there should be more games like this that
Yeah.
sort of raise awareness. So
Mhm.
how come we don't see more games like Neoantigen?
I think, it's not a cheap process to do this. We're definitely going on a limb financially and with the reputation of the organization. We think it's going to be beneficial to us overall and our mission and our message and our bottom line. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. But it's you know, I think a lot of times the nonprofits um, they kind of stick to what they've known in the past, which is walkathons, telethons, runs, direct mail, stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, so a lot of those things they work for those organizations, and when things work for you, maybe you're not as willing to take a chance. But luckily, again, I got to give a lot of credit to the leadership in my organization for embracing this idea, which is new and definitely off the wall. But I think if we're successful, and I think we will be, I hope we inspire other organizations to do the same thing, because that would be great for society at large. If people are gamifying education about their causes and getting people to buy into that and support their missions and curing diseases or doing whatever, just having people learn. I think that'd be incredible.
I think so too. And it's funny you said about the whole thing about like some companies that are just kind of like stuck in this old way of
Yeah,
operating as far as doing telethons and snail mail, and it's just like,
yeah.
come on, y'all gotta, it's 2021, yo, we got hover cars, kind of. We kind of got hover cars. We didn't have any
Yep.
at first, but we kind of starting to get hover cars now. But
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm lucky that the organization embraced this path, and we think it's going to bring a lot of attention to the cause of cancer research.
nice. And just to like get you guys used to Mike, this is the same Mike that came in stream and saw us looking at the super yacht. This is the same.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the same Mike who's also been coming to the Hades streams as well. So like he's been like around for a while now. So like now you guys get to finally see him, and I'm also gonna ask him about one or two questions just to get to know him as well, as he's made himself a part of the community somewhat. So my question to you, and it's a very difficult question. What game has given you the most difficult experience in your quest to complete it?
So I'm going to say two. One I'm working on right now that it's taken me forever is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Because I hate puzzles, and there's so many puzzles in Breath of the Wild that it drives me nuts. So it's taken me way longer to progress in that game than I'd like. But there is one game, and I don't know. This made me turn in my gamer card. I never finished it because I could never beat the final boss. Is the first Gears of War. I must have tried 50 or 60 times to beat that final boss. I never could. Finally, I rage quit.
No. No, Mike, you gotta go back and try again.
I know. I tried so many times. Finally, I was just like, worth it? Is this worth pouring out yourself and your life into this to beat this guy? No, it's not. Play Gears of War 2.
Yeah, you're right, Mom. I when it comes to Breath of the Wild, I'm a professional sadist because that game has taken me through some stuff. Like, how far are you into it? How many hours?
Maybe 40 or 50.
And how many divine beasts have you gotten?
I don't remember because I haven't touched it in a couple of months. I'm not sure.
Yep, that sounds like a true Breath of the Wild experience. When you just go like 6 months without touching it,
Yeah.
you're just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this game down. I'm gonna come back to it. Let it simmer for about 40 days.
It's aging like a fine wine in its case somewhere.
And my next question is, what is your favorite series or franchises?
I'm happy to talk about that because there was a development in my favorite series, Mass Effect.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Yes! Let's go! Commissioner Shepard's back, baby!
I know. Yeah,
Excuse me.
I'm not going to say any of the Mass Effect games are my favorite game of all time, but as a series, absolutely, Mass Effect is the best game series ever. Mass Effect 2 in my top 5 games of all time. Andromeda, that's kind of a coda. We won't worry about that too much. The first 3, Legendary Edition, I am counting down the days. I cannot wait.
Yes.
But beyond that, I'll say my favorite game of all time, though, is the first Red Dead Redemption. That's my favorite story ever. And within that, John Marston, great character, that's appeared in a bunch of the Red Redemption games. But there is another character in there is my favorite game character ever in any game, and that's Bonnie McFarlane. She is such an incredibly deep character. Just the unrequited love for John Marston and, making her way in a man's world doesn't want her and just grabbing it by the horns. Like, she's such an awesome character. And I love that character so much. And she's one of the major reasons why I think Red Dead Redemption is one of the best games ever.
You sure it's not Dutch? Because, Dutch always has a plan. And this plan is going to be bigger, Mike. Is going to be greater, Mike. And it's last one, Mike. Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance.
About Dutch, though, he runs his mouth through 3 games in a row, and then at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2, when it's finally time for him to talk, he doesn't say anything.
No. He's just like, all right, well, I'm out of here. He's just like, hello, Dutch.
Do it.
Dutch, you've had 600 players for the past 68,000 hours, Dutch. How come you're quiet now? Come on, Dutch. But this pretty much wraps up the segment of Players versus Cancer. Thank you again, Mike.